In 2001, the Boston Globe newspaper's investigative team for Spotlight magazine uncovered the abuse of over 80 boys by Catholic priests. Now it's a big Hollywood motion picture called Spotlight, and it's up for all kinds of Academy Awards this year: Best Picture, Best Director, and Best Screenplay. And joining me right now is the director of Spotlight, Tom McCarthy. Tom, greetings from Las Vegas.
Thank you, sir. Nice to chat.
First off, Tom, I have to say how much of a fan I am of Station Agent. I was lucky enough to do the press day when that came out back in 2003, and it also introduced me to Peter Dinklage. I just adore that film. I had to just gush right away at the top of the interview.
Thank you, sir. I love that film, too. Nice to hear.
And Tom, if I can toot my horn one more time, I'm president of the Las Vegas Film Critic Society, and we were so honored this year to award Spotlight Best Picture, Best Director, and Best Screenplay. So congratulations and well done.
Thank you. Yeah, we were very thrilled and honored by that. Thank you, sir.
Now, Tom, when I was 10 years old, I saw All the President's Men, and for some reason that movie just stuck with me my whole life. It gave me my interest in politics and just getting involved in investigative reporting and journalism. I mean, that was my dream. And I was thinking, you think Spotlight will have that effect years from now, that future journalists will see this movie and get interested in being investigative reporters?
I hope so, and we've had a lot of response to that effect. From young journalists or university students who have said, man, this really gets me excited about this and the impact we can have and the type of work they do. But I think beyond just inspiring journalists, which hopefully it does, it also has to inspire innovators, because quite honestly, we need innovation within that industry. Someone has to figure out the new model. We're not going back to 2001, 2002 when the Spotlight team broke this story and newspapers were at the height of their powers, that golden age, so to speak. The newspaper business, as you know, is greatly depleted. So hopefully this will inspire some young people to figure out that new model.
Now, we know this isn't a documentary, and there's dramatic license when it comes to retelling facts and true stories. So was there a fine line in the screenplay you wrote, what was dramatized and what was real and what wasn't?
Well, right. It's not a documentary, and we are making, hopefully, not only an interesting and intelligent film, but a very compelling and entertaining one. So we are constantly balancing that. I think with Spotlight, we really gambled. We tried to remain as true to the investigation as possible, and in most cases, the spirit of it. So you really got a sense of what that was like. We try not to be gratuitous or sensational in our presentation, but really just realistic in how we approach the material and the investigation. So hopefully that plays. I mean, that seems to be what audiences are really responding to. They're respecting that sort of authentic look at the work these journalists did and the effect and the impact that that story continues to have even today. That was certainly our intention.
Now, concerning the subject matter of this movie, it's pretty strong. You know, the abuse of boys by Catholic priests. Were there a lot of cast members who weren't interested in doing this film, or it was a totally the opposite reaction? They couldn't wait to do it because this was a pretty high-profile movie.
Yeah, no, mostly it was the latter. We were very fortunate to get, in many cases, our first choice. Mark Ruffalo was the first on, and shortly after it was Liev and Stanley Tucci and Michael Keaton and Rachel McAdams. And I think they read the script and they felt like this is one of those stories we have to tell. And as an actor, you know, you do some for them, the studios, and you do some for us, the filmmakers who want to tell unique and original stories and hopefully compelling ones. And I feel like we felt fortunate and even privileged to tell this story. It has so much to say on so many different levels that you realize films like this just don't come around very often.
Since this was all based on true events, did the actors have access to the editors and the reporters from the Boston Globe? I can only imagine they were great resources for this movie.
I think so. I mean, certainly it was for us as writers. My co-writer Josh Singer and I spent a lot of time with these reporters, editors, and also in some cases the survivors of abuse who were incredibly generous and courageous with their thoughts and their input. But I know when the actors became involved, they also spent time with the reporters, editors, and survivors and really got a chance to see who these people were and how they work, how they operate, what's driving them. And I think that really, really adds a great deal of credibility to the film.
All right, Tom, concerning the subject matter of this movie, I can only imagine, did you spend any sleepless nights before, during, and after production? Did you have any second thoughts about making this movie?
You know, by the time I really dug into the research, I knew I was going to bring it to the screen. I knew it would happen. You never know how it's going to turn out. You know, the response we've had all the way through from critics, playing as widely as we do at the box office, and of course all the awards nominations, which is super exciting. You can never count on that or expect that. But I think early on we all knew we had a very special story in our hands, and if anything kept me up, it was just getting the story right, telling the story with both grace and empathy and authenticity in a way that it would be beyond reproach, so that the material would really have a chance to operate, if that makes sense. And that's the thing that really kept me up on night, just making a good movie.
Okay, Tom, pretty exciting. This Academy Awards this year for 2016, you're up for Best Picture, Best Screenplay, and Best Director. So what are you doing to prepare for the Oscars? Any kind of rituals?
No special preparations that I know of. If there are, I wish someone would inform me so I could take part in those special preparations. No, we're thrilled to be at this particular point, to be involved, to be nominated so many times, and certainly for Best Picture, for Best Director. It's all just incredibly humbling and thrilling. And we're looking forward to the night. Whatever happens, happens. I think all of us on our team, we feel like we've already won, quite honestly, and I'm looking forward to it.
All right, Tom, I'm going on record here. I know you got a lot of hate for the Netflix movie The Cobblers starring Adam Sandler. I have to say, I loved it. I've watched it 2 or 3 times. It reminds me of a Danny Kaye kind of movie. I love the fantasy in it, and I just wanted to say, don't let the haters hate. I love The Cobbler.
God, people attack me on that movie, and I love that movie too, and it has a special place in my heart. All my films do, but that's nice to hear. I appreciate you saying so, Jeff.
Tom, congratulations on all the success for Spotlight. Good luck on Oscar night. I know I'll be watching. And afterward, come visit us in Vegas. I want to hold that Oscar.
Will do. Thank you, sir. Have a great day.
All right, for more reviews and interviews, just surf on over to my website at vegasfilmcritic.com. And please, if you're watching via YouTube, which I know you are because, hey, that's the place to be, make sure you comment below, subscribe, and give me a thumbs up. I'm Jeffrey K. Howard. Thanks for watching.